I think we've witnessed the death of Rolex.
This is a profound statement.
These guys have ignored their customers for a very long time. Historically very important watches, beautiful metals, beautiful, and look at that piece of shit, yeah? But we can walk underneath that, like.
Has it stopped raining?
Oh yeah, like,
no, it's still pissing it down.
No, but we only have to walk there, you know. It's just a wee drops. It's just Bradley Cooper can't get wet, you know. It's a wee bit of rain, like. Oh, it's the hair. Pay for that umbrella. Your hair?
No, but what?
I think you definitely should. There you go. I just paid for your hair to be protected. That's how important your hair is, Bradley Cooper. There you go. Now stick that up somewhere where the sun doesn't shine.
Outside, by the looks of things.
Exactly. That's how we're. Yeah.
Mate.
Wow. That was nearly. You nearly stabbed me with
It
that.
took you out on that one. I'm like your assistant. Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
Here you are, sir.
Right, we need to go through this. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. What do you think of my assistant? Holds my umbrella.
Go.
Yeah.
Look, otherwise you'd look
No,
like
that
this.
way.
Yeah.
So, you really got an umbrella for that?
Are you actually serious? Is that all it is?
Yes, I was that serious. I mean, you need to have a really good look at yourself, right?
Hold on. The last time I came here, it was not just there.
I'm really excited to show you my world.
Come on. So what's this all about? What's taking place in here, other than there's new watches on? What's the commercial
So
angle here?
every brand, or a majority of the brands in the world, right? The brands that matter, bar AP. AP is not releasing anything here. The majority of the watch brands release their watches here today, right? And that historically has an impact on the total market value, right?
Okay.
When this is the time where, for example, brands like Rolex introduce new watches, but also discontinue new watches.
Okay.
So that means that watches are discontinued, increase in value.
So they make an announcement of the ones that they are discontinuing?
No, they never say anything. The website is a brand new website.
And the old stuff just goes?
Yeah, done.
Right.
This is where the brands showcase their capabilities and the stuff they've been working on for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Keep in mind, producing a new movement or producing a new watch takes years, mate.
Yeah.
Right? It's
So
not
what
one
we're
year.
seeing, what we're seeing today is multiple years.
Yes,
in making.
What you see
It's just
today
like a
is
car.
a minimum 2-3 years work.
Sure. Okay. This is just like cars.
Unless it's Hublot, that's usually a week work. And they usually come up with a week before and done. Fantastic. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Umbrella? Perfect. It's all right. Perfect. Oh,
He
sorry.
used it for 12 seconds, mate. 12 seconds. When he comes back, just make something else up, right? Makes it. His hair is not good. He needs to go back. Just do something else.
So
Do something. Yeah?
Say sorry, your hair is.
Yeah. You can't go in like this. You see what I mean?
Make a picture of the cloakroom you went to, because there's cloakrooms all over the place.
Go with the hair.
Yes. I like this guy. Funny guy.
You bastards.
What's going on here?
What
They
do you mean?
did change their logo.
They did
Ridiculous.
change the logo.
Like,
How weird.
we had this discussion yesterday, as I'm like, what is that weird logo? That's not Brevin. Like, they have spent some serious money.
I'm not
But
sure
to
I'm a
be
fan of
honest-
that new.
No,
Font,
you know, I'm not
all
sure.
brand.
I'm not sure.
Explain
Listen,
that thing where everybody simplifies.
There is a movement right now where any logo, and it doesn't matter if it's from the watch world, car world, fashion world is number one, they're going through these rebrands and stripping any form of identity out of them, and they're basically going like Helvetica. There's sans serif, there's no sort of artistry to it, they're just going block text, logo.
like,
There's going to
that's
be a lot of
problem.
analogies today, I feel, and this is from an outsider, I feel British watchmaking is to watches like British sparkling wine is to champagne. Do you know what I mean? It's like, they're good watches, but it's not champagne.
No.
Right, so one thing straight away, the watch world has smashed the aesthetic presentation of the car world, destroyed it. This normally is a commercial red carpet with crap sepia lights, and everyone just sort of pops up their own stands. This looks like we are in the mecca of horology.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But you are. A brand spends, like a stand could cost 2 million minimum, right? Starts
Look at
at
the
2
size of
million.
it.
Like, this is fashion, mate. Like, this is better than any boutique you'll ever see.
This is the thing, it's better than their actual stores.
Yeah. This is quite similar
Christ,
to last.
this is wild.
To be fair, the setup is quite similar to last year. But you need to have seen
Well, off the
last
back
year.
of this investment, you would make it the same as last year, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
you
Going
match
back
your-
to Bremont, right?
Yeah.
They have some cracking story. So that my earliest memory of a Bremont is when they did the Wright Flyer, and in the back of
Yeah.
the movement,
Yeah.
they had procured a piece of the wing from the Wright brothers aeroplane,
Ah.
and they'd put the canvas of the wing in the back of the watch, and then you have a massive amount of connection, appreciation. The talking point was wild. So conveniently, Nico's lent me a prototype Freak, which is a real honor to wear. That's
I launched that
0-0
watch.
as well. Yeah, you literally
I
launched
launched
it.
that watch in Shanghai.
You were on stage, weren't you?
Yeah.
Launching this watch. You good? You good? Yeah, really good. Mate, this is my first time here
So
and I'm blown away. So this is the tool that does
That's the
the etching.
machine. I like the term, it's a tool, it's not a machine.
Sure.
It's a tool, really it's a tool, because everything is moved by hand. And the person making the work influences directly the final result. So this is where they're going to engrave the base plates, handmade guilloche of the fricasse.
Oh, wow.
Which is moving. Fricasse Nomad, you know, the base plates of the movement is handmade guilloche, and this is why for me it's the watch of the extremes. On one side you've got a technology of today or tomorrow,
Yeah.
and you've got one of the most prestigious and ancestral métiers d'art.
Right, check this out. We're on the Ulysses Nardin stand. If I just stand all the way over here, mind my head because I'm on this is a big mirror. So they've got this incredible, massive movement right in the middle of the stand, which in itself is highly cool because you can get up to components which are normally that big, right? And then you could lie down or stand and sit. So they've made some of these components into benches. So if I look here, like that's a leather stitched panel as part of the componentry of the internal workings of the watch. But if I could come over here and show you, there's a massive mirror up here. And when you're inside the watch that I've just been walking around, if you lie down or stand or sit in it, the photo looks like you're part of the movement of the watch. It's the most interactive stand I've seen so far. So how long have you been working on this for?
Almost 4 years. 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, research and development is one of the main area where we keep investing.
And which areas have been the most challenging or complicating to achieve?
It is the only movement having two hearts,
Right?
but being powered by an automatic movement. And I will show you in a minute a patented automatic winding system.
One of the most challenging things then was how do you retain enough energy within the movement, effectively,
Absolutely.
to keep that powered?
Yes, that is one of the main challenges. The second main challenge is the little piece of the movement you've got here. It's a differential, similar as the differential in cars that will,
Okay.
take into consideration sometimes when you will turn, the speed of the wheels.
Yeah.
Same here, the differential will average the speed of the two hearts, the two balance wheels of the watch, to be able to give really the precise time.
So you have a real diff inside
Yes.
the movement. As a car guy, you're doing a great job of selling this to me already. it's awesome. Nico that put my first Ulysses on my wrist. Coming from the car world, I love seeing the exposed nature of all of the movement, and to me they are wrist engines. That's why I like it. I look at it and I can see how it's working and why and where the energy is. And that for me is just peak.
Here you will see that through the crown,
Oh wow, look at
I
that.
will adjust the time. So you read the hour here with a white arrow, and the minute will be indicated by the movement.
That's so wild.
So you see here is going to be 12 o'clock,
I cannot comprehend how much hassle it was to engineer that.
12:15, 12:30.
It's crazy. Guilloche, it's like artisan etching, right? It's this
Absolutely.
sort of, it's
So
this
they're going
sort of
to
process.
bit by bit remove materials to be able to get that shape.
So the pattern on the dial is done by hand using a sophisticated
Yes.
tool, but ultimately someone has programmed and finessed that to create that.
Absolutely.
And every one of
Yeah.
those has gone through that handmade process.
Absolutely, yes.
But genuinely,
task.
the funny
Serious.
bit is, I have had the biggest, most important, most expensive, most insane watches on my wrist you could put on your wrist. Right?
And that outperforms interest.
That watch, when I had that, nothing has attracted more
Attention.
to me. Like, just people in an airplane, like, just, like,
Oh, what's that?
What was that? What's
Yeah.
cool? I love it. Absolutely love it.
I love
you
it.
know
I
what?
love it.
Photos do not do justice in
not
any
at
way,
all.
shape, or form.
What's your YouTube?
No, I appreciate that.
Next stand, IWC. So
Irish
far,
Watch Company. I want coffee.
I want coffee. That's what this is.
coffee.
I want coffee. This is our one of our top stands so far. It's got to be one of the best.
This is
It's absolutely
this is number
insane.
one.
I'm fascinated how much this stuff costs.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine what the outlay of this is? It's ridiculous. They have a watch pond over there with floating lily pads with brand new watches on them.
So watches weren't for man, right? Back in the day, watches were worn by women. They weren't called watches or wrist watches. They were called wristlets, and they were worn on bracelets, right? On very small bracelets that look like jewelry. Because if you have a form of indication of time on your wrist, it would be considered rude, right? So women in the 1800s or early 1900s were wearing bracelets with a secret compartment that held a watch, a time device.
Which is what that is. So that's a
what that
nod
is.
to history there.
So that's just a bracelet, and you can close it so it doesn't look like you have the time on your wrist. What do you think so far?
Of the overall show.
Yeah, so far, right? We're at 25%.
Right, so I am mostly impressed with the quality of the curation of the entire environment.
Yeah.
Why I say the entire environment is in the car world, most shows like this, the bit that we're standing in right now would just be convention hall. None of this would be set dressed.
Not,
You just
the
see-
pillars are.
This is all installed for the event. So the overall curated environment is
Yeah.
spectacular. And then the level of the brand stands are ridiculous.
Yeah.
The quality, it's like you're walking into like a Bond Street showroom on every stand. And sometimes even more. It's less pretentious than I thought it would be. I thought it was all going to be quite appointment only. One of the things for me that I'm trying to understand is sometimes I'll stare at a brand and you know, like the way you dress or in fashion or the clothes that you choose to wear ultimately is an extension of what you're trying to say about yourself or what you want to associate with.
That's why I go to the gym nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
So this stand, for example, speaks to me with zero story as to what their association, what they stand for.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're about. Like everyone in here makes nice watches, but why? What lifestyle is that associated with?
I think
yes.
everyone can make a watch here, but who can tell the best story?
Do you know what Rolex does well and Richard Mille does well? And take the prices out of Richard Mille because I know it's insane. But you know the demographic they're targeting and the lifestyle that they are associating themselves with based on the activations they do with the environments they place themselves into.
Yeah.
So Richard Mille, Le Mans Classic,
Yeah.
you know? These sorts of events, they're at Concours events. I associate Richard Mille while the price point automatically dictates them in a certain demographic, which is the 0.001%. Take that out of it, you know what lifestyle they associate themselves with, and therefore it's a representation of what you might like. Racing, fast-paced lifestyle, technical engineering, innovation. Some of these brands I'm struggling with because they don't jump out to me as to what they
what type of
represent.
lifestyle is this? Someone that fucking likes air balloons? Or
Well, this is what I mean. I don't know.
And that is just sad.
What is their story?
I don't know. That's the fucking...
Well, if you don't know and no one knows, I don't know.
There's liquid in this, and that you see that magnification? It looks like a screen, but it's not. It's all mechanical.
We wanted to.
That's very true.
It's the bollocks. Look at that.
Very cool. So I just caught, he just said that these are actually flat discs, but the water magnifies it. Yes, expectedly, Rolex have taken this to a whole different league. If you didn't know we were in a show right now, as in a conference hall, you'd say that was the entrance to an actual physical premises, wouldn't you? That's a sort of office area, and up there behind there, that's a second floor. They've got like a sort of bezel-inspired trim running through the whole circumference of the showroom. And the immersion in it, I mean, it is nano-granular details. Look at this staircase. I mean, it's honestly... A lot of car brands could probably take note. This show makes the Geneva Motor Show, which to be fair is now not really as big as it was. And this place makes the Geneva Motor Show look like Halfords. It's incredible.
I think we've witnessed the death of Rolex.
This is a profound statement.
Yeah, look at it. The fact that we take the time to look at a solid gold Deep Sea, and there's people actually honestly having a conversation about it is just beyond embarrassing to me. First of all, why the hell would you bring out such a big watch in yellow gold with a flat blue dial when you have the expertise to do that with a sunburst blue, which is more spectacular? I'm done with it. I'm done.
So
I don't want anything to do with
For those
it.
that don't know, me, why is that an abomination? Why is that a problem?
It's like bringing out
Yeah, let's make a
bringing
car
out
analogy
a
here.
911
Right?
in solid gold.
Okay.
There's no point.
So
911 is a
they've-
sports car. That's a dive.
That's a diver's watch. So you don't want a heavy, solid breeze
No,
block,
of course not.
solid gold watch on your
That's
wrist.
not a tool watch anymore. That's a hope of
it's a
commercial
fashion
bull.
watch.
These guys have ignored their customers for a very long time.
Okay,
and
so
I'm
from a point of view
actually
of-
emotional about that because I truly love Rolex.
So from a point of view of ignoring customers, this is like making the next GT3 an electric car.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Well done.
New 5396 annual calendar.
Lips, lovely.
That's beautiful. This 5164 with the brushed bezel, that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Very, very nice. These are all
So some of the stuff that I've really enjoyed from all of the brands is the quirkiness of the interaction of what they've done to immerse people in it. So on this screen here, you can select the different chronographs, movements, calendars, etc. And then as you select it, it brings it up and it highlights it within this display case and puts it on the exact movement that you're staring at. It's look at that. That's really cool. So this entire entrance is one big screen.
Oh, that's quite impressive.
It's pretty serious. It's a cracking immersion in the brand.
Stories.
Yes,
Again,
exactly,
stories.
story. So going back to probably 2 hours ago now, when I was like, I look at a brand and it's either telling me what it's associated with and why it exists, or Parmigiani, I have no idea what you do, but you make a nice watch. And the difference is, this appeals to me by association of my interests.
Check Hoyer.
I know the story of Steve McQueen, that they still associate themselves with endurance racing, Formula One, that appeals to me from my interests. So there is now a mechanical device that represents what I enjoy.
So for me, the most forward-thinking watch brand, what I think is one of the most forward-thinking watch brands today. Nice bike.
That bike is cool. Got
It's cool, like.
carbon wheels. They've done a good job of evolving their design language. When I went into Hublot earlier, it was the same stuff that I'd seen time and time again.
for years.
Whereas that is a nice progression. I've not looked at Bell & Ross in a long time, but it's a nice.
That's the old
progression.
stuff,
It's very cool.
And then you see. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sabre ceramic. We'll wrap it up. It's wrapped up. So video's over. Thank you for watching.
As always.
And
Thanks
as
for
always,
watching. See you next
as always,
time.
I love you. And prideandp.com. James.
To the bar.
Bye.